Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia and it's been a really long time. So the last time I posted was like in January, and since then I entered one chance. If you know, you know. My phone got stolen, so yeah, I'm back again anyway. Thank God for life. So today we're going to be making this beautiful ruched top. I call it butterfly top because look at it. It kind of looks like a butterfly when the front is being ruched. And it also serves as an off shoulder if you don't want to show too much skin, just the right amount of skin on the left. And if you want to look really sexy, the right. Anyway, it's quite easy. I made it up initially to go with like a trouser that has the same material with the same materials. So I'll actually post the video maybe next week. But yeah, it was looking too much. Like the pattern is quite a lot, and eventually I just decided to pair it with a black. So just sit, watch, and enjoy. Okay, so we're starting off with fabric, obviously. This is actually pieces of a fabric. So I used this fabric to make a gown, to make a trouser, and this was just literally the pieces left. It's less than a yard. So first of all, we're going to be taking the measurement. So at this point, I took 14 inches or 15 inches. So if you are, my bust is 36, my waist is 28. So if that's your measurement as well, you can do exactly what I'm doing, or just go 1 inches less. You can use 14 inches. But I used 15, and it was a waist. It was a little bit of a waist, but not too much. But anyway, use 14 if you're smaller. Oh, sorry, if you're like me, use less if you're smaller, and use more if you're bigger. Basically, it's elastic top, so it's going to work either way. Anyway, so I'm just going to cut this out. I've taken the width of the measurement. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the length. But first of all, I'm cutting on fold. That means I'm going to have like two pieces of unfold, right? So in total, it's going to be 14 inches on fold. Do you understand? Or 15 inches on fold. So this is going to be two unfolded fabrics, 14 inches. So if you open it wide, you're going to have like 30 inches, right? Two pieces of 30 inches folded together, it's giving you 15 inches. So again, I'm just going to take the measurements 14 or 15 inches. So when we're taking the length of it, you go up 5 because it's going to be off shoulder. You go up 5 and you measure 20. I took 20 inches. If you want it longer, you can take longer. If you want it shorter, you can go shorter, obviously. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and draw a straight line because I like my lines to kind of just be crisp, so it has to be straight. I'm going to draw a straight line before I go ahead and cut. Again, I'm trying to manage my fabric a lot, so I'm just doing too much anyway. So after cutting my 20 inches for the length, I just have that, and I'm keeping it aside. Now we're going with the sleeve. So this is the biggest piece of fabrics left that I'm trying to use for the sleeve. It's not enough, as you can see, or maybe you can't see. For the length, you're going by 10 inches, so I'm just going to measure 10 inches. For the width, I went in by 14 inches. So first of all, let's go with the length rather. So we're going to go ahead and roll that out. You take your scissors and you cut as well. Again, for the width wasn't enough. It's kind of too small because it's kind of going to give like a puffy effect. I don't know if that makes sense. So you need quite a little bit more than what you have. So for the other sleeve, you can even see it's even smaller than the first one. So we have to kind of put more, and you kind of have to join extra. So these pieces that I set aside, I'm going to use it and join to make it 14 inches. So I'm just going to cut out because these are the only two big pieces left. So if you see now, I'm measuring, and that's going to be 10, and for this I want 14 inches. So as you can see, I'm trying to show you that this is the amount that we are going to add more, so it's going to fit well, right? Anyway, um I'm going to go ahead off the camera to add it, and then I'm going to come back to show you what I'm going to do. But I have like a little bit more of these pieces, which is going to work for both sleeves, right? Okay, so after doing that now, I'm going back with the main top, and I'm going to measure 9 inches for the neckline. After measuring 9 inches, I'm going to come down and measure 4 inches for the armhole. So basically we're drawing the armhole now. Again, this is the bodice, right? It's just bodice and sleeve that we're working with here. So this is the bodice. I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler and draw the lines just to make sure I have like a crisp line. People who like to just draw their curve like this, me, I prefer making everything as clear as possible so I don't have any mistake. So I'm going ahead again to draw my to measure. I'm going to measure my 9 inches here now to make sure everything comes out well, and draw my straight line. So I wanted to just try, since it's a freehand cloth. I wanted to, as you can see, I kind of drew a curve initially, but I was like, nah. So I just used freehand to draw that, and as you can see, I'm trying to do draw it again with my French curve. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Yeah. So if your eyes are not like rulers or French curves, try to use what you have. Try to use your your instruments, your equipment to achieve what you want, because that's what they are there for. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead now and cut out the sleeve. So I'm not cutting it out on the line itself. I'm going to go like cut 5 inches. I'm going to leave 5 inches. So just sorry, half an inch, right? 5 centimeters or half an inch. So as you can see, just do exactly what I'm doing and you'll be fine. Because we're not really taking any measurements, we don't really need to take measurement because this is going to be like an elastic, so everything is going to be stretchy enough. So going to the sleeve now to do this, to take the measurement of the armhole. So first of all, you are going to go down 1 inch and draw it. This 1 inch is going to be for the elastic band. We're going to put an elastic band at the sleeve so that it can do what it does best and hug, because it's a puffy sleeve, it has to hug your shoulder. So that this part is to fold, to turn and put the elastic into. So it's 1 inch. The elastic we're using is like half an inch elastic, right? So after doing that, I'm going to take 10 inches and take 4 inches down. And this part was a little bit tricky for me because I wanted to make sure everything work out best. I tried some different methods, but eventually I decided to go with this. So just look at what I'm doing and do exactly that in order to achieve this. So again, you're going to go half an inch out to cut out the sleeve. Don't cut it out on your the line you drew itself. That way you can your allowance, right? Your sewing allowance. This is what the half an inch is for. So after doing this, we are done. Oh, we're practically done cutting. So the same thing you did for the first one, you're going to fold for the elastic. We're putting elastic as well at the top. The bottom, you're just going to turn it up like normal, but the top, you're going to put elastic. So for the first, this is the front, right? I use my smoky thread. I'm going to show you what I like. The first one, I just used my kind of like eyes to do my measurement. It didn't come out, or it came out too small, which is perfect for the front, but the back, and it took a lot of time. The back, I didn't really want to spend that much time. I didn't do this for the front. For the back, I wanted to just go as simple, like I wanted it to be as quick as possible, because honestly I don't have patience, and this on its own was already too much. So I'm just going to draw the line. For the front, it took me over an hour to do that, to use the smoky thread, to use the elastic thread to sew on that. The back, it took me like 30 minutes, and my thread was kind of cutting a lot. I don't know, the thread was sure cutting a lot, but I'm going to leave like 1.5 inch at the bottom. That way it's going to give like a very cute looking peplum effect. Anyway, so this is me rolling out my elastic thread for the bobbin at the bobbin, and this is me just going ahead to sew it. So just look at what I'm doing. It's quite very easy. Again, elastic thread, the bobbin, you put it at the under the machine, and normal thread at the top. So if you want a tutorial on how I did that, I think I'm going to make a video on that, just to show exactly what I did. I think that will be the next video, just to make sure you can see it, just in case you don't know how to use an elastic thread. This is the way to use an elastic thread. So basically right now what I'm doing is I'm just sewing on the line. This made things a lot more easy. Like, if my thread wasn't cutting, I would have finished this in under 15 minutes. I remember the first time I attempted this smoky top or effect. That was years and years ago, and I was using a manual machine. And till today, that top has still not been completed because I did not have the patience for it. But this one now, because it's an industrial machine, and I'm quite used to this already. This is the second time I'm attempting it. The first time was unsuccessful. Second time, at least I was able to complete it. Proud of myself, right? But yeah. So the first one, I went very very close to each other. I had the thread go close, very very close to each other. This one I gave it about half an inch from the next one, but the first one was like very very close, sha. So the first one is a lot more elasticy. I don't know if that makes sense. The first one is a lot more tighter, but this one is a lot loose because the spacing is a lot more. But this is going to work because this is for the back, while the one that is closely close together is for the front. And I think I prefer it that way. Not like I prefer it that way, this just did not stress me as much as the first one, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, so at this point, as you can see, I'm trying to leave out the peplum effect at the bottom. I'm just cutting all the threads out now. So this is the both of them. If you can look closely, you'll see that one is actually looking tighter than the other. And this is me taking out my elastic now. I'm just going to measure the elastic for the top part. So I'm taking out 10 inches for the top part. This elastic will be put at the top of the neckline, right? This way, no matter how much you bend, your top is going to just stay pressed to your shirt. If you don't want to show cleavage, in fact, it's not if you don't want to show cleavage. If you don't want to show cleavage, use an elastic. If you want your cleavage and breast to be open when you bend over, then that's fine. You can leave it the way it is, but this will secure your clothes to your chest very very well. So I'm just doing this for the front, and I'm going to do the same thing for the back. So this, my elastic, I measured 10 inches. And so we're going to put elastic again at the sleeve. The sleeve we're going to be putting at the two sides. Remember, two parts of the sleeve, the top and the bottom. You take your measurement for the bottom, you take your measurement for the top, and you put your sleeves. Anyway, this is just me. I would advise you to always make sure the elastic is secure before you continue drawing it like this. If not, you'll just waste your time and you have to start again. So this is it now. The elastic has been put in place, very secure, right? And I'm just going to put this aside. Just set this aside. Get the sleeves now. As you can see, this one, the top part, the part I'm folding right now, that's for the top part of the sleeve. Okay, as I said earlier, I'm going to be taking the measurement for the sleeve. This is for the top part of the sleeve. It's 10 inches. I'm cutting 2, obviously. For the bottom part of the sleeve, I'm going to be taking 12 inches. For that part, you can just measure your biceps. Yeah, you'll measure your biceps and maybe take 1.5 or 2 inches out of the elastic. That way it's tight. You don't want an elastic that just feels like your normal clothes, right? Anyway, so I'm just passing that through. Again, when you're passing elastic through anything, it's always important for you to be cautious when at the beginning of the hole you're passing it through, right? Make sure it's not pulling through, because if you are doing that, you're wasting your time. You have to start again. So on this day, I think they were having a birthday party in my compound, and I was watching people dance. So I made a few mistakes here and there, but that's fine. Okay, so at the beginning of, or rather at my intro, I mentioned that I was going to pair it, or my plan when making this top was to pair it with a trouser I already made. But well, when I pair them together, it was way too busy. As you can see, the fabric itself is very busy, like different colors. There's green, there's yellow, there's blue, there's black, whatever, there's white as well. So pairing them together was just too much, and I decided to pair it with a black trouser. But I'm going to do the tutorial for the trouser. The trouser is very cute. It's an Ankara trouser and an Ashoke fabric, like Ankara material and Ashoke. So pairing them together was very, very cute. Anyway, so I'm done as at now. I'm done passing the thread right now, and I'm just going to be attaching the sleeves to the top, right, to the bodice. Okay, I don't think I've attached the second hand. Okay, I'm attaching that now. So I'm just going to draw that in. I think this is the one I made. I was doing too much. Okay, not too much. Okay, yeah. I was watching people dance, so I kind of did not realize the beginning parts, which is what I'm doing again. So I passed it twice. I was watching like old people. There was a 60th birthday party in my compound, and well, old people dancing is cute. Anyway, so after doing this, I'm going to attach this to the bodice. Look at how it is now. This is the puff sleeve, right? This is exactly the puff sleeve. So remember, when you're attaching anything together, you're going to be doing the right size together. So for this sleeve, I attached the first one. If I remember I have to attach it on camera. I attached the first side, right sides together, and you attach this one. If you noticed, I again was quite distracted, so I kind of attached to the bottom part. Eventually I realized, and I turned it to the other side. But look at it, everything just fits perfectly, like very, very perfectly. I was kind of skeptical about the sleeve. Remember how I cut the sleeve, because I didn't cut it the normal way, but it was perfect, very, very much perfect. And after doing that, I just pin that down together so that it doesn't move. This is elastic. You're working with elastic, so you have to be very cautious, very careful. I did that to the two sides, and I went to my sewing machine and I just went ahead to close that down. After I finished closing it down, I realized it was a little bit too big. That's why I was saying from the beginning you can use 14 inches instead of 15, because I had to go back again and sew that down again. But it turned out very, very fine, and that was it for me. I finished. I'm just taking out the thread. And okay, so this is a different day. This is a completely different day, and I realized I was going through Pinterest looking for just designs, and I came across one particular top, one blouse in this just very similar to mine, but it was with a chiffon fabric. And I was like, you know what, let's just do a ruched, because it was kind of ruched in the middle and it was so beautiful. So I was like, let's see what we can do for it. But at this point, I had already kind of thrown all the pieces of fabric away, so I didn't have the pieces, and it was kind of like I really wanted to do that. So first of all, you measure, take the middle, take the center from the bottom and the top, roll it down. Now you're going to see me use a different yellow fabric. Don't be scared. You can use your normal fabric here. Look at it. It doesn't look nice on camera, but by the time it was finished, I couldn't really tell the difference. You can try and look for the difference. If I didn't tell you it was a different fabric, would you have known? Okay, so I'm just spreading it out. I'm just going to be taking a few inches. So first of all, I'm going to be putting like a fabric on the top itself. Then I'm creating a ropey thingy that is going to come into it. I'm not sure how to explain it. If you don't know how to make a ruched top, I guess you might find this a little bit difficult, but it's very, very easy. Like very, very easy. Nothing to worry about. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and take 5 inches. My advice for you here, don't take 5 inches. I was just trying to make sure I don't have too much. So go ahead and take, maybe for the inner top, the part you are going to be attaching to the top, you go ahead and put 3 inches, because you'll be folding down half an inch, and then you're going to sew right down the middle. For the stringy, you can make it as long as you want or as short as possible. If you don't want the string to show much, you can make it short. The string, you can make it 4 inches. Go ahead and make it 4 inches. Cut out your 4 inches or 3 inches as well. If you want the rope to be a little bit tinier, cut out your 3 inches, turn it together, sew a straight line down, and sew the back. Obviously, sew the right sides together. For the string, sew it round, down, straight down, and turn it back to the front. You know how you make a string, right? When you're making spaghetti hand or all those rope, just do that. So I'm saying this because it was later on I realized I wanted that kind of top, so I didn't do a lot on camera. So for this one, as you can see what I'm doing right now, I already have my two pieces of fabric. This one is going to be for the top. Sorry, this is actually for the string, not the top. The other one is for the top. So I'm making a string here. I'm going to just join that together because I want it to be not too long, but this is what it came out to be. It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, it was quite perfect like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that together and sew a straight line. So for this now, this is what I'm going to do. So this was a little bit too long because I didn't really take a measurement for this. This is just me working with my free head, like free hand. So I'm just going to cut it to make sure it's not showing, it won't be showing. So go ahead and do this, then turn it over and sew at the back, or rather I pressed it first, I ironed it first, then sew it and sew in the middle. Sew to staple it down, then sew in the middle because you're going to be passing the string through it. So I've sewed that down now. This is best to be done obviously when the top is not attached because it might cause a little bit of a problem if you may have to start maneuvering if you already attached it together. But yeah, so when you're done, you just pass the rope through it and you get your ruched top. We've come to the end of our video. Thank you very much for staying with me and watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. This is the top now. As you can see, it turned out really beautiful. I was just experimenting with it. I think I prefer it with the rope because it kind of looks like a butterfly, but it still looks pretty. I kind of just hid the rope under my brazier, and this is just it, like normal top. You can as well hide the rope too here. It's just very versatile top, very beautiful. Turned out really great. Absolutely loved it. Again, I'm just going to show you how it looks. It looked beautiful, absolutely stunning. Anyway, yeah, thank you. That's it for me. Just enjoy me modeling the top for a little bit before I have to go. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend, have a lovely week, whatever time you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.